What's up, Star Wars fans? This is Iron Trek 96 here, bringing you guys another figure review. So today I figured that I'd go ahead and do a bit of a throwback as well as a 2-for-1 in this video. So we're going to be taking a look at both Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I do want to start off this review by saying that this Obi-Wan Kenobi figure right here is actually the very same figure that I got back in 2005 when I was a kid. And it's crazy to think that I've had this figure for almost 20 years now. It's still in such a good condition. I mean, despite having seen many hours of play throughout the years when I would play with this guy as a kid, I mean, he's still in not so bad of a shape. I mean, they really made this figure real well back in the day. Honestly, you could still put this figure up with modern interpretations of Jedi that Hasbro's releasing, and it still holds up. I mean, it's a really nice figure. As for the Anakin, this is not my childhood Anakin right here. I recently got this guy probably back in 2020, 2021. I know it was around the time that COVID-19 was going on, the pandemic. So yeah, I mean, this guy is relatively new compared to this guy. Now, I unfortunately don't have the boxes for these figures, the original packaging that they came in. Especially for this guy, because like I said earlier, this guy's pushing the 20-year mark, and back when I was a kid, that was the last thing I was thinking about holding on to, the figure packaging. But yeah, as for the Anakin, of course, since I did get him recently, I actually got him loose, but collector owned, so he is in a really good condition. Let's take a closer look at these figures, and we'll go ahead and start off with Anakin Skywalker here. And for the most part, yeah, that's a good looking figure right there. The articulation on this guy is not bad. I mean, everything on this guy is actually really good. Up until you get to right here, the elbows. That's where it gets all ugly. For the most part, the outfit is really nice. But then when you get to the head sculpt, I mean, there is some likeness there to Hayden Christensen. This was before that realistic face technology that they use now in their modern day figures. So yeah, of course, if you want more of an accurate Hayden Christensen face, then you gotta wait on Hasbro to drop the next vintage collection update to the Revenge of the Sith Anakin Skywalker. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not an expert, but if I'm not mistaken, Hasbro is yet to give us an updated version of the Revenge of the Sith Anakin Skywalker figure. So yeah, I mean, I think with the Ahsoka series having show this character in there, I think we're definitely due for a updated version of this guy. But all in all, for the most part, I mean, the articulation on this guy, the overall look is not bad. I mean, the face is not a bad face. Even though it doesn't look 100% like the actor, I mean, it's still there. The amount of detail that was sculpted into this, it's really great. I mean, they even went as far as to making sure they painted in all the small details on the belt, like that little button right there on the pouch, the little tube cylinders that Jedi carry on their utility belt. Even the gloves got painted in. Yeah, this is an overall good figure right here. Like I said earlier, I got this figure loose, so I'm not entirely sure if this is all the accessories that he came with. But for what we have in front of us right now, of course, he has his lightsaber hilt unignited. You just can't have a Jedi without an unlit lightsaber, especially if you're trying to go as far as to give them the ability to peg it into their belt. So yeah, I mean, that's cool that they did that. I mean, it's nothing we haven't seen before. It's the same old hilts that we've gotten in many re-releases throughout the years. As for the lightsaber, it's pretty much the exact same thing as the unlit hilt right there. I mean, it's nothing we haven't seen before either. For the articulation, just so you guys get the general idea as to what we got back in the day with this version of Anakin Skywalker, it's not bad. It's not bad at all, up until right around the elbows. That's where it kind of completely takes a full 180 and goes in the opposite direction of greatness. So anyways, the head is on a ball joint, and you do get a fair amount of movement out of this guy, so that's really good. The arms do go in and out. That's on both sides. They go 360. The elbows, they got that nasty swivel that a lot of collectors seem to hate. myself included. For the upper arm right here, or lower, yeah, upper arm, it does rotate right there where the glove meets the shirt. So that's technically the wrist articulation, all one piece. As for this side, it's the same, but instead of the upper arm right there where the glove meets the shirt, it's down here where the wrist meets the shirt. So you get that. The waist does have a fair amount of movement, so it's not bad. The legs do kick outwards like that, so that's awesome. They do go forward real nicely. They bend at the knee, rotate at the knee. They do have that pivot at the ankle, and they rotate at the foot. So yeah, all in all, I mean, this figure had so much potential, and honestly, it could still hold up till this day. But it's still definitely time for an updated version of this guy. But yeah, there's Anakin Skywalker in all his glory. Up next, let's go ahead and take a look at Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobi here from Revenge of the Sith. And yeah, this is the one that I had as a kid, so it's definitely seen better days. But for the most part, this figure still is in pretty good condition, even though it's pushing almost 20 years at this point. And aside from the fact that this is my childhood Obi-Wan that got many countless hours of play out of it, it still somehow managed to withstand the tests of time. And of course, it's not 100% perfect because I did play with it, like I said. I mean, it's got some paint chipping going on there, but for the most part, as a kid, it still amazes me till this day that I knew well enough to take care of this figure. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the amount of detail that this guy has throughout. And all in all, Hasbro did not disappoint with this guy either. Just like on the Anakin, they really paid close attention into adding this detail throughout his garments. It's not just one solid smooth piece of plastic. They actually went ahead and molded in all that extra, all those little wrinkles and grooves throughout his clothing there. They also went ahead and painted in all the little silver bits here, the buttons and stuff like that throughout his belt. The face on this guy is really well done. I mean, for a 2005 action figure, this representation of Obi-Wan is actually not bad. I mean, it speaks for itself. Of course, compared to modern day newer releases of Obi-Wan Kenobi, like say the one that came in that 2-pack with Darth Vader and obviously the Obi-Wan figure from the Final Showdown from the Vintage Collection line. I mean, obviously, it's nothing compared to that, a vast improvement. But as it is right now, yeah, this face is not bad. I also want to highlight the fact that Hasbro also went as far as to include the little mole that real life actor Ewan McGregor has on his brow right there, right between both his eyebrows. They went ahead and actually molded that into the plastic. I mean, it amazes me that they did something like that even back then in 2005. For the accessories that this figure comes with, just like on the Anakin, I don't have all his original accessories, and again, I'm not sure if that's all that Anakin came with or not, just the lightsaber in his hilt. But for this guy, I do know for a fact that he came with a little like headset piece like that he wore in the beginning of Revenge of the Sith while he was in the Starfighter. And he also came with that Jedi robe that's also made out of plastic. So yeah, and of course these the lightsabers. But yeah, I mean, we've definitely seen this before. The attention to detail on something so small like this is actually amazing. And for the most part, on the lightsaber itself, it's the exact same thing. Minus the little peg that's sticking out right there that allows you to peg it onto his belt like so. But yeah, it's pretty much it right there for Obi-Wan. The articulation is actually pretty good. Of course, again, it is in need of modern articulation, like say certain pivots here and there and kicking out movement. But still, for the most part, for what it is and what it was, this figure is honestly a pretty good, solid representation of Obi-Wan. So for the head, it does have that ball joint. So it does get a fair amount of movement there. The arms do go in and out, rotate 360. They bend out the elbow, rotate 360 at the elbow, rotate at the wrist 360. Same thing with the other arm. The abs, the waist does have this really nice crunch, so that's nice movement right there. The legs do go in and out. bend at the knee, rotate 360 at the knee. They do have that hinge right here on the ankle, and they do rotate at the foot. Unfortunately, it does not kick outwards like on the Anakin figure, but for what it is, this figure is awesome. For a size comparison, here we have the Chosen One himself, Anakin Skywalker, standing right next to Master Kenobi. And as you can see, Master Hello there is a little bit shorter than Anakin, so that was probably done intentionally since these are from the same scale and same toy line. And here are a few other Star Wars characters to compare them to. Also another look at what these figures would look like when compared to other 3 3/4 inch scaled figures from different toy lines as well. Just for fun, here we have a quick look at Obi-Wan Kenobi from Revenge of the Sith right there in the middle when compared to a few other Kenobis from throughout the years. Hello there. And here we have a look at the Chosen One himself, Anakin Skywalker from Revenge of the Sith right there in the middle compared to a few other Anakins from throughout the years. Minus, of course, the Phantom Menace version of Anakin, which would have been there, and the, I guess you could say, Phase 2 version of this guy, the Clone Wars Anakin, which I also don't have. But yeah, that's just so you guys get the general idea on what Anakin will look like when compared to a few other variations of himself that have been released throughout the years, and of course that I currently own. But it's definitely time for Hasbro to give us a updated version of Revenge of the Sith Anakin.
Now I am the master.
For my final thoughts on these figures, I can honestly say that I'm glad that I grew up with them, because it's given me more of a appreciation towards what these figures were and are. And I can honestly say that I'm speaking for most of us collectors when I say this, that these figures right here that we have in front of us are actually pretty good figures up until this day. I mean, they still hold up. I mean, their articulation, the amount of detail. I mean, granted, of course, it's time for an updated version of both of these guys for the 3 3/4 inch line. But for the most part, for what they are, and if you grew up with them, you just have this appreciation towards what these action figures were. It's that nostalgia talking right there. But for the most part, yeah, Hasbro did a good job with them. And if you guys could find these in the aftermarket, of course, I would highly recommend picking them up. The original 3 3/4 inch Revenge of the Sith toy line is not the most expensive out there. So if you guys are trying to get into collecting these original Revenge of the Sith action figures, thankfully you guys are not going to be paying, you know, an arm and a leg for them. I've been lucky enough to pick up a few of these figures carded still in pristine condition for only $5 a piece. So for the most part, yeah, these are great figures, and I highly recommend them, and especially if you guys have that nostalgia connection towards them. Yeah, definitely go for them. You're not going to spend too much money trying to get these guys. But yeah, that being said, you guys are truly awesome for having tuned in. And if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. And also feel free to share. That way you guys help me put my content more out there. And definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. That way you guys are kept in the loop for anything and all that I might drop next. And yeah, I mean, you guys are the best. I honestly appreciate you guys tuning in, and feel free to check out my previous videos. They're pretty cool as well. Well, this is Iron Trek 96 saying don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.